Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
Well, that return gives him a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Nigel Bradham coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Looking to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll look to throw. Going up top. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. It's a big play for the Giants on 3rd down. 51 yards. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley, a man who played collegiately here in the Keystone State. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. Rosas good with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Don't go.
On second down, here's Wentz. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Quick slant there, gets him the 1st down, 6 yards on the play. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
And he connects with Ertz. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Go. Ready.
From the gun, it's Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
Now Wentz on the bootleg. And this is Ertz with it, right side. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
I got it. Back. 120.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And spins away. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nigel Bradham in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
He'll drop to throw. It's caught. Shepard. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Russell Shepard, 42 yards. And the Giants are in for 6. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes the score 14-7. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Rosas now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Bowls him over. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Wentz now on first down. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah. Right, 58, right there. Run.
On first down, Wentz. He's going to go up top, and that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, 26 yards. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Elliott good with a PAT. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll come out throwing here on first down to Barkley on the check down. Oh, shifty. Whoa. A big play there on the catch and run. 45 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Back to throw. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he gets it down to the 32. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. He's going to loft one deep. He's got him in, complete. He's at the 30, past the 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just add the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play.
Hurry up, here we go.
But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. That one goes for 24 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set.
They'll throw now on the final play. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This one fielded at the 5. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustment.
Golden Tate's going to go. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Golden Tate, 65 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From midfield, here's Wentz. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Giants have it. It's picked up.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Giants. Beckham, 57 yards. And the Giants have got it back to a one-score game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Come on now, Oaks. Come on now. Let's go. Here we go.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Shotgun now for Wentz. Completes it to Aguilar. A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Wentz now on first down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Well, while we have a second here, how about we get bold and make a couple Super Bowl predictions?
Hey, why not? Let's go ahead and put ourselves on the spot.
Just more fodder for the angry people. What do you think? Who's going to win it? Who's going to be the MVP?
Well, my prediction for this one is the New England Patriots win the football game.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. And New York set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you worked on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 44 yards on the ground. Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he just falls short down at the 1 yard line. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 47 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal.
No, check, Patriot!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his man, Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game. A little surprising they wouldn't go for two, but this is up and good. And we are all tied at 28. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. Oh, look at the juke. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They've got his man complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out
He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz. This will be caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body, ability to run, positions himself well, excellent control, and you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
They'll try to run with a J. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Flushed out right. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Golden Tate with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles have moved out in front.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And now out come the Giants. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Watch him now, Barney!
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Let's go!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. Takes this to the 45. Broken tackle. Bought him a little extra space. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Fletcher Cox in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
They'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Rodney McLeod that time able to knock it away. 2 huge plays there down the stretch. The sack on 2nd down. Now they force the incompletion. That's going to lead to a do-or-die 4th down.
And they look like they've got the confidence right now that no matter what gets thrown against them, whatever play gets run, they have the ability to shut it down. They're just brimming with it right now.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Set. 120. Set.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Set. 180. 952.
The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
Get that quarterback. Here we go. 120. Set.
Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.